Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the southern tip of Vancouver Island in the Pacific Ocean, Canada. I hope everybody is having a great start to their weekend and you are staying healthy and staying strong and productive. In this class, everyone, we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 2, the cue card, the long answer. And we will go through a sample question together with our members, and I will explain to you how we can approach that Band 9 perfect score response. This is a members chat class, of course. Everybody is welcome to watch, and it's a good idea to watch this class even if you're not a member, because coming up in 90 minutes, we will have Speaking Part 3, which is a continuation of this Speaking Part 2, and that will be an all chat class where everybody will be able to join in on the chat. If you'd like to become a channel member, just click the join button next to the subscribe button. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. And if you're looking for general IELTS materials, specifically the reading and writing, check us out at ieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have loads and loads of information to help you with your communication and English skills to get those Band 9 scores. In fact, you can find other students there to practice your English with. There is free speaking practice. I'll show you where that is real quick as we get going in today's class. So this is our academic IELTS web portal here at aehelp.com. You can click this big red button to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an official British Council IELTS Test Registration Center and certified agents. And when you join with us there, you'll get your My Student account, and as soon as you click on your My Student account, you will be redirected to all of your course content, your computer-based practice exams, full academic online course, audio CDs, and then you'll also see this portion here, the Task 1, Task 2 writing help, and then the student partner speaking and speaking interview practice. So if you click on that student partner speaking, accept the terms, you will be redirected to a new window where you'll find some other students who are looking for speaking partners. Right now we have Anna and Jurabek in here, or Jurabek, and you can video and audio chat with them. Okay, so same thing for the general IELTS. Same concept. I'm just going to get out of here because I'm not available for chat. But for those of you who are available for chat, keep that window open. So that's absolutely free. You can use the free version of the course to access that student partner speaking as well. Definitely use that regularly to keep practicing and improving. As they say, practice makes perfect, and that's very, very true for speaking in another language. So make sure to do that. Of course, we have apps that power our websites. Academic IELTS Help links to aehelp.com. You can download this app from your Google Play or Apple App Store, Academic IELTS Help, or for General IELTS, search for General IELTS Help app, and you can link this app to gieltshelp.com. Welcome, Rashika. Good to have you in the class. We're slowly getting our members in to the class today. You can follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp or GIELTSHelp. And if you have questions, you can send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. All right, everyone. For our exam books, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but you can purchase our exam books with audio CDs from Amazon. You just have to search for AEHelp's Academic IELTS or GEHelp's General IELTS, and you can get the paperback version of our exam books. There's 2 for academic and 2 for general. Hi, Akshay. All right, so we have our new schedule coming up as well from August 14th. That's today until the 21st, so that's next week and Saturday. And the 14th, that's today right now, we have speaking part 2, followed by speaking part 3, as I mentioned. We'll have our usual break on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There's no live class, but we will have more HD video releases coming this week. So watch out for a really cool HD video for the writing section. And then I'm back on the 18th with speaking part 1 for everyone. And then we have a full week of classes following that. And I will post this new schedule on our YouTube community board and into our posts as well. So you'll see it on Instagram also. All right. Hi, Oaz. Good to see you as well. Okay, so this is a speaking class, members, and it is for you. And part 3 will be afterwards for the all chat class. So we're looking at a part 2 cue card here. Okay, so for all of those viewers who are not yet familiar with the IELTS speaking interview, it has 3 parts. It takes about 12 minutes. Part 1 is about you, some questions on a general topic like your hobbies or sports you play, or what you do on the weekends, or about your experience with math, for example. So that's part 1. And that takes about maybe about 3 minutes, 4 minutes maximum. It's about 4 or 5 questions. And then the examiner, after that, will say, okay, that's the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, I will show you some questions. You have some note paper there in front of you. You have your pen. You will have 1 minute to read the questions, think about your answers, take notes if you wish, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. And then they'll show you questions like these, and they will begin. And they'll say, talk about a place you avoid going to. You have 1 minute to prepare, and your 1 minute preparation starts now. And so you have 60 seconds to prepare. You have to practice this even as a native speaker. This is a challenging task. This isn't like an everyday communication. So you have to practice this step-by-step process of reading the questions, taking some notes, using those notes, giving a good, clear answer. Okay? So the examiner will only read this topic sentence for you because they're bringing your attention to the fact that this is very important. Okay? So even though the examiner reads it, make sure to read it at least once, if not twice, again, okay? So talk about a place you avoid going to, okay? And part 2 is often about your experience or some part of your life, okay? So talk about a place you avoid going to. You should say, where is this place? What happens there? Who goes there? Why do you avoid this place? You will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. Okay, don't worry about that part. That's clear. All right. So again, speak and repeat, students. So copy what I say and how I say it. Okay. Now, there's very clear strategy for part 2 cue card to approach that band 9, and we're going to go through that with the members today, step by step. So members, when you get this cue card and the examiner reads that topic sentence and you read that topic sentence twice, so that's your first step. Step 1, read the topic statement question twice so that you are absolutely clear on what you need to talk about. Okay? One of the most dangerous situations is going off topic or talking off topic. That seems to happen quite often, unfortunately. So you read that twice and then you read the questions carefully. Okay? And you want to practice these steps at home every time so that you can do this very quickly so that it fits in your 1 minute. What's your next step? So after you have read the statement and you've read it twice and you've read the questions, what's your next step? What do you do after? So there's a very clear next step here. Anybody? What should you do? Let's see if the members come up with this. So, Nick Hill says, identify the tenses, present simple, perfect, continuous, and the category, which is place. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Akshay, don't come up with multiple ideas yet, but that will be important. Okay. So, step 2 is identify the category and the tenses. Okay, so here the category is place. And when you talk about a place, what should you include in your speech in order for your listener to clearly understand that place? So, it says it is a place. Yeah. And when you talk about a place, what should you include? Okay. All right, we have a new YouTuber, an unnamed person. That's pretty interesting. I've never seen that before. Well, welcome to our group of members. Send me an email and maybe come up with a clever handle as well. Okay. All right. Let me make a little adjustment here. I think I'm a bit dark today, so maybe I'll be a little bit brighter here. Okay, so Ois says when you're talking about a place, you should talk about the location, its appearance, what it looks like, its attendance, so who goes to this place, the activities of this place, and the experience. Nick Hill says when you talk about a place, to discuss it clearly, talk about the location, its appearance, its history, its attendees, its activities, and your opinion. And Nick Hill and Ois, you're very synonymous, which is great. Yeah, so you need the location, you need its appearance, because it's physical. We want to see it in our minds. Yeah, a little bit about its history might be good. So it's past and present. Its attendees, yeah, so who goes to this place, right? Adults, children, elderly, activities, what happens at this place, and your experience or your opinion of this place, right? Absolutely. Okay. And in our case, for this cue card question, what is the most common tense that you will be using? Okay. So verb tense, it means kind of like the time of the events, right? So talk about a place you avoid going to. What do you think will be the most common kind of verb tense that you will use to discuss this cue card question? Okay. And hopefully you come up with the same answer that I come up with here. So yeah, very good, Ois. So Ois says present and maybe some simple past. I agree, Ois. So Akshay says simple present. Yeah, because you avoid going there now, right? So you might use some past in this case. You might even use some future, like you'll continue to avoid this place in the future as long as. But mostly you're focusing on the present tense and the present perfect tense. So I haven't been there ever since. I haven't gone there because. Okay, so you're using a lot of present tense. Very good. All right, so now that we've done that, we want to make sure we identify the topic as well. So it's a place I avoid, and the controlling idea is all the other questions. Okay. All right. So the next step now, Akshay, I believe it was Akshay that said this, now is when you want to think about 2 to 3 good ideas to respond with and pick the best one. Okay? Find one that's simple, lots of content, okay, and is original. So not every student is talking about it, all right? So one popular topic that a lot of students choose for part 2, when part 2 is about some kind of object, is their mobile phone. That's way too popular of a topic. Examiners hear students talking about their mobile phones way too much. So that's a kind of topic that you want to avoid. So you want to be original, okay? That's very, very important. All right, so what are some places that you would avoid going to? And we've got a good number of members in the class now. We've got Ken in here as well. Deepika, nice to have you join us as well. Deepika says, can I say I avoid going to my friend's home? Ken says maybe the public pool. Okay. Yeah, so my local public pool. All right. My friend's home. Yeah, you can if there's a reason for that. Okay. Oa says, I avoid going to Sky Hill in my area of Bokros. Okay, so I'm not sure what that is, but maybe we'll find out a little bit later. So Sky Hill in, maybe it's a dangerous neighborhood. It's nice and specific. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Nick Hill says, I avoid going to the shopping mall. Okay. All right. Akshay says some kind of industrial area. You want to be specific with that. If you can name the industrial area, it's much better. Okay. All right. Okay. So good. You're thinking about some nice examples here of where you avoid going to. So the local public pool, my friend's home, Sky Hill in Bokros, and the local shopping mall. Now, of course, for you, this can be unique. So, Ois, for you, Sky Hill might be a really good choice if you know a lot about it, because it's nice and specific, especially if it's, for example, an area that maybe has a lot of criminal activity, it's got a lot of dangerous people, or it's got a lot of construction, which makes it dangerous. So that would be a great choice. I don't know much about it, so it's a tough choice for us to all share and chime in on. So for this one, I'm going to do kind of a veto decision. I think shopping mall is not bad, but I think the shopping mall could be a popular answer. It could be one that many people are talking about. Okay. Rashika, top of the Space Needle. I think the Seattle Tower that you're thinking about is the Space Needle. Okay. Your friend's home, I mean, if you have some specific reason why you do not go to your friend's home, that could be a good one as well. But for today, choosing the public pool, so the local public pool would be a good one. Okay, so let's go with that one. So we'll choose public pool. And let's give this one a name. So Let's call it Oasis. Oasis public pool near my home. Okay. So this is just going to be an imaginary public pool for the purpose of this class so that we can all work on it together with the same ideas. Okay, so the Oasis public pool in my community is a place that I avoid going to, all right? Okay, so the next step then is to quickly jot down some notes that are useful. Okay. All right. So the first is the location. Now, you don't need to write down location, but this is just to remind you what you need to include when you are taking notes. So when you're taking your notes, basically you should be thinking about these key points for talking about a place, and in this order. So location, appearance, history, attendees, activities, and experience. As long as you talk about each of these subtopics for a location, you're going to have really good communication, and there's a very good chance that you're going to answer all of these questions. So when you look at the cue card and you see, oh, where is this place? That's location. What happens there? That's going to be activities. Who goes there? Hey, wait a second, that's attendees. And why do you avoid this place? That's probably your experience in this case. So as long as you touch on each of these subtopics for a location, you're doing great. Okay? Bakrat, welcome back. All right. Location. Now, where is this pool located? Give me some notes that are useful. So where is it located? Give me a couple of ideas. Okay, Oa says it's located in the countryside about 10 kilometers from my home, beside Gym Hall. Okay, I like the distance, the quantification. Okay, so it's your local pool, so let's make it a little bit closer, Oas. So it's about 2 kilometers away. Okay, let's make it in the suburbs. All right. So suburbs, about 2 clicks, 2 kilometers away. All right. Next to school, maybe something like that. Okay, you don't need to spend too much time on this. All right. Rashika says maybe something like south side of downtown towards the youth center. Ken says maybe about 10 minutes on foot from my home. That's good. Ken, remember the 10 minutes part. Okay, what does it look like? Describe the appearance of a pool. If you or when you describe the appearance of the pool, definitely you will be picking up some good lexical resource marks. So describing the appearance of a pool in a few words is definitely good, okay? So Bakrat says it's toward the northwest of my residence, nearly 2 miles away. That's fine. Okay. Again, notes, you want to be quick here, and you want to think of ideas that aren't natural, okay, or aren't easy to come up with. So the appearance, what does this pool look like? Okay. So indoor, large oval building. Let's see what else you can come up with. Okay. Changing facilities. Shower. Okay, maybe there's a gym inside. All right. All right, so Oa says it is about 80 square meters. It's probably going to be bigger than that. Okay, so Olympic size. Okay, pools, public pools are usually 50 meters if they're Olympic size, or if they're half Olympic size, they're 25 meters, okay? Okay, so Ois says 2 meters deep. Yeah. All right. So 10 lanes, 1 to 3 meters deep. Okay, good. All right, sure. Yeah, especially if it's a place we avoid going to, we want to be really clear on the appearance because we want our listener to kind of see or be able to imagine this place that we don't like going to. Okay. All right, so that's pretty good. Okay, so now the next one is going to be attendees, right? So who goes there? Okay. History with a pool, we can maybe group that in with experience. I would just jump to attendees. With history, you might just do something very simple like a pool is not really a historical landmark, so you might just say something like 10 years ago. Okay, and keep your notes short. So built 10 years ago. Okay, let's move to attendees. So who goes there? Okay, all right. So who goes to this public pool? Okay. Now, you're probably going to remember words like kids, adults, elderly. So I wouldn't write that down in my notes, okay? I wouldn't write down kids, adults, elderly because we're going to keep that in mind. We're going to know that, okay? So, okay, it says locals and visitors. Yeah, sure, that might be a good one. Kids, adults, I wouldn't write down. Students, I would write down. And I would write down something else that's quite useful here for this topic of a place that I avoid going to, right? There's something that should come to mind for attendees, especially in today's world where we're all kind of very scared of COVID and catching sickness or illness. That should come to mind here. Okay, so what is that? Yeah, so here you might say something like crowded, and you might, Rashika, also think of something like sick, right? So unfortunately, sick people or ill people will also go to a public pool, often before they even know that they're sick or that they're ill or have some kind of a problem, right? Okay, I don't know about animals, Ois, going to the public pool. You wouldn't have that in Canada, that's for sure. So, all right. Attendees. Okay, so now activities. So again, swimming, that's something that we're going to know, absolutely. So I wouldn't write down swimming because you're going to remember that. So again, keep in mind that for the notes, you shouldn't write down information that you're going to speak about naturally. You should write about information that's going to help you when you get stuck. So what other activities happen at a pool other than swimming? And again, keep in mind it's a place you avoid going to, okay? It's a place you avoid going to. So what can happen at this local pool, at the local Oasis public pool? What are some activities that can happen? Okay. Ken says it's unsanitary, it's dirty. That's going to be the experience part, Ken. You're jumping a little bit ahead. Okay. And don't repeat yourself, Ken. So unsanitary, you don't need to write poor water quality or dirty because that's all the same. Okay. Okay, so Ois says it's slippery, injury. Okay. Catch a sickness, right? So when you're thinking about activities, think in the context of the card. That's very important. Okay? Don't just think about it generally. Okay, so I'm going to give you a note here. Don't think about this generally. But think about this in the context of the card. Okay? So slippery, injury, catch sickness. Maybe for this card, even if you can swim, you can lie and you can say, I don't know how to swim. So Deepika says, I don't know swimming. Yeah. So Nick Hill says, I can drown in the deep part. Yeah, that's an activity that can happen, unfortunately. So drowning in the deep part of the pool. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we jump to experience. So it's unsanitary. Okay. So maybe you had a drowning experience. Okay. In the pool. Maybe you caught a foot fungus. Ooh. At the pool. It's possible. It's common. Okay. All right. So those are our notes. Okay. So that is excellent. So if you can come up with short notes like this in the 1 minute. Okay. Now remember, you don't have all of these parts here. You just have this part here. So it's 2 kilometers away. It's suburbs next to the school. This is the dimensions. It's built 10 years ago. There are lots of different kinds of people that visit it. These are some of the activities. This is what you experienced. So now you are ready, almost you are ready to give a 2-minute little speech. Okay? All right, you have one more step here before your 1-minute preparation is up. Okay? So before your 1-minute preparation is up, what should you do? Okay, so you have to take one more step before your 1-minute preparation time is up. What is that? Okay, so yeah, maybe there was a COVID outbreak at the pool. Some people who tested positive. Okay, Nick Hill says prepare the first sentence. Yeah, absolutely. Using the topic statement. So go ahead and do that now, students. So I'm going to do the same. So again, this is talk about a place you avoid going to. We decided to talk about Oasis public pool in my community. So I'm preparing my first sentence. You do the same. So all right. So there is my first sentence, okay? A location that I very much avoid visiting these days is the Oasis public pool, which is just 2 kilometers from my house near my high school. So I decided to kind of immediately group location in here as well. Why not start to give the listener a clear idea? So I'm starting with location, right? Okay. All right. So let's see your first sentences. Again, your first sentence should always include the topic and controlling idea of the question. So here the topic is a place you avoid going to. So I just simply said avoid visiting. Okay, and I recommend not even paraphrasing some key words. So notice how I didn't paraphrase the word avoid. Instead of going to, I did paraphrase that a bit with visiting, but I kept avoid the same, just so it's really, really clear for the examiner that I'm talking to him or her about the right topic. Okay? Rashika says, Oasis Public Pool is a venue I avoid going to these days. Very good, Rashika. It's short, clear, and to the point. That's what you want. Ois says, a location I have been avoiding going to is Oasis Public Pool in the downtown of my city, only 2 kilometers from my home. Very good, Ois. I like how you use the present perfect. Just how I caught that, the examiner will catch that. And that's good. We talked about using present perfect. Nick Hill says, the place that I avoid going to these days is Oasis Public Swimming Pool, which is just 2 miles from my house next to Jim Hall. Yeah, Nick Hill, very good. Couple of small corrections. Deepika says, a place that I prefer not going to would be the Oasis Public Pool in my community, which is about 10 blocks away from my house. Very good, Deepika. I like your use of 10 blocks as a measure. It's nice lexical resource. Akshay says, due to the COVID outbreak, I try to avoid visiting Oasis Public Pool, which is located in the heart of the city and just 2 kilometers from my home. Akshay, it's not bad, but I don't recommend explaining the reason why you avoid this place so quickly. The reason for that, Akshay, is that you can get yourself into a difficult situation where you quickly run out of ideas. So the reasoning for your answer, leave that for later. First, introduce your idea and then give reasons for it. Akshay, a lot of students make this mistake. They very quickly give the reason for their answer and then they just keep repeating it. Oh, there has been so much COVID these days because of COVID, because COVID's so dangerous. And then they just keep repeating and repeating, and it doesn't produce a very good speech, okay? So everybody keep that in mind. I'm using Akshay to give this example here, but this is a very typical type of approach that students take, is that they give the answer and the reason right away, and then they just repeat that answer and that reason. Some of you are probably thinking, yeah, I've done that before, okay? So do not be too quick to give your answer plus reason in part 2 cue card, as this often leads to repetition of ideas and an overall poor performance. Save your reasoning for after your introduction of your answer. Okay, it will make for a much more fluent response. Okay. Yeah, so Nick Hill saying, yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, Nick Hill, it's super common. So many times when I'm testing students, that's what happens, is they give the answer, they go, oh, I avoid going to my local swimming pool because I don't know how to swim. And then in the next 1.5 minutes, all I hear is just those 2 ideas repeated for the most part. And it's kind of like, okay. So a location that I very much avoid visiting these days is the Oasis Public Pool, which is just 2 kilometers from my house near my high school. Good. Next comes the description, right? So this is an oval shaped building with a large Olympic sized swimming pool. It has 10 lanes that are 50 meters long. There are changing facilities as well as showers. and diving boards. The pool is 1 meter at the shallow end and about 3 meters at the deep end. Okay, so this is my description. All right, this is an oval-shaped building with a large Olympic-sized swimming pool. It has 10 lanes that are 50 meters long. There are changing facilities as well as showers and diving boards. The pool is 1 meter at the shallow end and about 3 meters at the deep end. Oh, it says it's not a bad pool. Oasis Pool is an Olympic-sized pool. It's 2 meters deep. It's enough for about 40 persons. It includes a lot of water games and 2 main doors, 12 showers for males and females. Very good, OS. Nice. And I like your fluency, OS. I saw that you got that out very quickly. And yeah, you made a couple of typos and a couple of word mistakes, but overall it's very good. Okay, so good for you, OS. You get my first giant thumbs up of the day. It's very nice. I love the fluency. I loved how quickly you got that out, OS. You're thinking ahead. Very nice. Okay. So notice that I'm creating the context here. Okay, so creating context is very, very important for clear communication. Okay, excellent. Nicely done. All right. So now I can go into attendees and keep going here, members. So we're picking up speed now. We're going to be fluent at this point. So be fluent like OS and just pick up speed. Okay, so this pool is visited by hundreds of people each day, both locals and tourists. Not only children, but also adults and elderly go to this pool frequently. And one of the reasons that I avoid going to this athletic center is because of the current pandemic situation, and there are often sick people at the pool, so I do not want to catch the flu, some foot fungus, or these days, especially COVID-19. Okay, unfortunately, I have found that the pool is quite unsanitary. I don't think it is cleaned as well as it should be. And of course, disease is spread very easily in water. Okay. All right, so here we're just moving along nicely. Let's see what our members have come up with so far. So we're building some fluency here. Deepika says it's an indoor pool on the 4th floor of the building. It's a small pool, about 20 meters long. There are changing facilities and showers. Okay, Deepika, your pool is a bit different than my pool, but that's okay as long as you have good description, okay? The examiner doesn't really care about the specifics as long as it is good content, good description, good explanations, okay? Barhat says the pool has a squared shape. It's about 30 by 30 meters in width and length, not height, Height would be this way, okay? There's a staircase for going into the pool. The pool contains about 50 people at one time for swimming. Okay, Nick Hill says it's an Olympic-sized pool with 10 lanes that are 40 meters long and 2 meters deep. Moreover, the facilities that are provided include showers and changing cabins. Okay, Nick Hill, it's 50 meters for Olympic-sized pools, but that's okay. There are diving boards as well. It's mainly visited by local people as well as some tourists. Okay. Ois, for the attendees, says all ages come to swim at the Oasis pool, kids and their parents, and even old people. It's very crowded, even during COVID. That's the reason I'm hesitant to go there. I worry to catch the COVID virus or some other kind of sickness. Very good, Ois. Rashika says this is a novel shaped, oval shaped. Olympic-sized pool, 3 meters deep with 10 lanes for swimming. This pool was built 10 years ago to commemorate the public leader who was living in our area. Okay, maybe name the leader there, Rashika, so to be more specific, okay? Akshay, this is a 3-story glass building with an Olympic-sized swimming pool around 50 meters in length and 30 meters wide. It's 2 meters at the deep end. Very good. Okay, nice job. All right. In addition, I have never been a strong swimmer. In fact, about 10 years ago, I took some swimming lessons at Oasis Pool, and I almost drowned. This experience has made me hesitant to go back there anytime soon. In fact, I haven't been there in over 5 years. The last time I remember going there was to watch my cousin's swim competition. So definitely this is a facility that I steer clear of. Okay. All right. So I feel I have all of the information necessary to give my 2-minute speech here. Now, as I'm doing this, so as I'm going along and talking, what I want to do, of course, is to check the card and check those points like location, experience, and so on, just to make sure I haven't missed anything, okay? The key for a Band 9 approach in the speaking section part 2 is to give new information, give connected information, not repeat yourself, and stay on topic, okay? All right, so here we go, members. Let's do this together. So let's speak and repeat, okay? So the cue card once more for those who are just joining in. It's talk about a place you avoid going to. You should say, where is this place? What happens there? Who goes there? Why do you avoid going to this place? Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. A location that I very much avoid visiting these days is the Oasis Public Pool, which is just 2 kilometers from my home near my high school. This is an oval-shaped building with a large Olympic-sized swimming pool. It has 10 lanes that are 50 meters long. There are changing facilities as well as showers and diving boards. The pool is 1 meter deep at the shallow end and about 3 meters at the deep end. This pool is visited by hundreds of people each day, both locals and tourists. Not only children, but also adults and elderly go to this pool frequently. And one of the reasons I avoid going to this athletic center is because of the current pandemic situation. And there are often sick people at the pool, so I do not want to catch the flu, some kind of foot fungus, or these days, especially COVID-19. Unfortunately, I have found that the pool is quite unsanitary. I don't think it is cleaned as well as it should be, and of course, disease is spread very easily in water. In addition, I have never been a strong swimmer. In fact, about 10 years ago, I took some swimming lessons at Oasis Pool and I almost drowned. This experience has made me hesitant to go back there anytime soon. In fact, I haven't been there in over 5 years. The last time I remember going there was to watch my cousin's swim competition. So definitely, this is a facility that I steer clear of. To steer clear of, it means you steer clear of it, you go around it, or you avoid it. Okay, your 2 minutes is up. Stop there, and now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I will ask you a question connected to your response and in relation to the topic of part 2. Let's begin part 3. So that's how it goes, okay? All right. Oh, it says, although I like to go for a swim in Oasis Pool, after the last time I've heard someone was positive with COVID, I avoid going there now. Deepika says, the reason I avoid going there would be firstly, that I don't know how to swim. Secondly, I felt that the pool was unsanitary and even has an experience of having skin rashes when I get into the water. Very nice, Deepika. Okay, good fluency. Deepika and Ois, fantastic job in today's class. That's all the time I have for today's class, members. Keep going and keep practicing this. So finish this part 2 cue card response on your own. Record your answer on your phone. You can send it to me by email and I'll give you a score estimate. Okay, so finish answering this question, record it on your phone, and send it to, and this is only for members, send it to Adrian at aehelp.com, okay? So send me an MP3 recording, please, only, all right? So that I don't have to convert it. And stick around because I will be back in 30 minutes with speaking part 3, which will be connected to the speaking part 2. Okay, so don't go too far. Everybody will be able to join the next speaking class, speaking part 3. That's a continuation of this speaking part 2. For lots more help, students, with speaking, visit us at aehelp.com. for academic IELTS and glshelp.com for general IELTS. This is our academic IELTS website here. You can join our premium package by clicking on the big red button, the Join Now button. And for the general IELTS, it's the green background, and you can click on that big red button there. Okay. Ken, if you send me your MP3 recording, usually you'll have an answer within 48 hours. Okay, so within 48 hours is the turnaround. Okay, we'll give you a score estimate. I'll let you know if it's a band 6, 7, 8, or 9. All right. Ois, you're very welcome. Nikhil, you're welcome. Great participation. Bakrat, keep up the good work. All right. That's it for now. Hang around. I'll be back in 30 minutes with speaking part 3. I'm Adrian, signing out from Victoria. Bye for now.